Hey everybody. So, fine motor skill versus gross motor skill in self-defense. One of the things that we often hear about in self-defense circles is that idea that fine motor skills, in other words, skill that require a lot of precision and use of fingers and things like that, don't work when you're highly adrenalized, which means most of the time they don't work in real fighting, right? If you look at examples from combat sport, for the most part, it seems kind of correct. Like you don't see people grabbing wrist locks out of nowhere and stuff like that. So where can it be applied? Well, there are elements where we can see that it does work, right? So when you look at corrections, security, law enforcement, emergency response, people who have to control and subdue people on a fairly regular basis, they quite often get to positions where they do have to apply more fine skill techniques than people who don't work in those areas. We also see that if we look at combat sports, which can be a good example because they do work with resistance all the time, that stuff can work. You can use your fingers to grab and manipulate small joints and things like that. So what's the difference? Where does it work? Where does it not work? Let's look at that from a more street fighting or self-defense perspective. And I know I'm bundling a couple of terms there together, but I'll do it anyway. A couple of things are important. Number one, you have to overcome the initial startle or flinch response, right? So when I get caught by surprise, the first thing I'm going to do inevitably is going to be, right? I'm going to flinch, my hands are going to come up, I'm going to take a short breath. If I can then overcome that and do something from there and then get to a position of control when I can control the other person, then I might start looking at fine motor skills, okay? So again, if I am in a conversation and it gradually escalates, I can't get away, I can see something coming, I've got enough time and presence of mind, I manage my adrenaline, I deal with the situation, I control the person somehow, maybe then I get them to the ground, then I might be able to look at something that's a little bit more fine motor skill. That's really different to a situation where maybe I get hit from behind, I turn around and just respond and cover, and then literally try and grab something out of nowhere to try and apply it. In that case, 99 times out of 100, it's not going to work. So that leads us to another question there. How much time should we be practicing training those fine motor skills? Well, generally speaking, for me, the rule is you should spend 80% of your time training for what is likely to happen 80% of the time, which is fundamentals. The other 10 or 20%, depending on how you want to break up your time, should be then spent looking at what ifs, right? And this stuff for me falls very much in the realm of the what ifs. So, to summarize, can we use fine motor skills in self-defense? Yes, you can, given a set number of conditions have been met, and even then it won't work all the time. Have a think, let me know what you reckon.